for today. We've had a good week. It's Friday. We're down here at Mercertown, and I went and picked up my new ELD thing. Now, I have been using the JJ Keller, and it was free when I got it, and I've been using that for probably 4 years or so. I had to pay for this $550. So let's open the box and see what it is, and then because it's Friday, we got to go load tomorrow, and I got to have this thing running, up and running. So I got quite a few people that use this, so if I have any questions, I got some friends I can call. Directions. Oh, let's see here. Wiring harness. So what we're going to do is take the wiring harness and we'll hide it behind the dash somewhere. We'll have to take the bottom of the dash out, hide it behind the dash to hook it up. That's the mount. That's the other thing. I got to mount it. I think I have a good spot to mount it in. The directions card. You got to have this, the directions for DOT. It's a requirement. So let's see here, what else is in here? Oh, hang on, I gotta cut the tape here. So I think by October, everybody in the fleet has to be using this thing. So it is better for me to learn now than later. So I'm not playing catch up. It does operate a little bit different than the JJ Keller on my phone. The other, I guess if you want to say, drawback to this is there is a $45 a month fee, monthly fee that you have to pay, like a subscription, I guess, and I got to pay for it. Whereas the JJ Keller, it was free, but I had a dedicated phone that I used for my JJ Keller, so technically I could get rid of this phone line that I had because I have two phones in the truck. Technically I could get rid of this phone and I won't have to have that phone line anymore. So it's kind of a wash, I guess, a little bit. So I just got to figure out how to mount it and get it hooked up. I think that's what I'm going to do right now, is get it hooked up to the truck so that tomorrow we can use it to go pick up our load. But that's what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all powered on and everything. But Christmas for me. So, all right, talk to you in a bit. Okay, we're getting a little bit further. I got the old ELD out. I got the bottom part of the dash apart. Now, the data port, I don't know if you guys can see in there, but the data port is right there. And hang on a second. That's the data port right there. You see the data port? So this new ELD, and the old one did too, through that data port is how it talks to the computer. And these are the connections to hook to the data port. And I'll hook those to these connections that are in there to the data port. And then that's how the truck will talk to the ELD. So I ran the wire back behind the dash, and I'm going to take this bracket off right here. This is where I used to have my phone mounted for my ELD. So I'm going to mount the new bracket right here on the dash. So I'll take this off, and then I'll have to come up with another phone mount for when I'm driving. But that's kind of an update of what's going on. So it's not too bad. I mean, it looks messy. The other thing I did do is I did work on the buzzer. It's a little bit quieter. So I think once the dash is all back together, it should be a little bit quieter. But anyway, we're making progress. So I just wanted to show you the data port, how it plugs in. So once I get it all together, and I'll show you how I'm going to mount it. So talk to you in a bit. All right, good morning. It is Saturday morning. We're sitting here at the Mercer lot. We're gonna go pick up our load here in about 30 minutes. I did get the new logbook thing installed. So I think the last time you guys saw me, I had the bottom of the dash apart. I hooked it up to the data port, which is right there, and then I ran the wire across the back of the dash, and then I came out down at the bottom down here, right there. I did read that you have to have enough cable to hand the device out the door. So I have because of, I guess that's a DOT inspection rule, that you have to be able to hand the device. So, and this isn't wireless, it is connected, and it pops out of this little holder right here. I'm not going to do it because I can't do it with one hand, but to hand it out the door. And then, so there's the mount, is how I mounted it. You can see it came with that big mount. It seems pretty solid. It does wiggle a little bit, so I'm kind of curious to see how it does going down the road. These gauges back here are these switches I don't mess with often, so when I do need them, I can still reach them. The only other problem I have is mounting a place for my cell phone, to hold my cell phone. I put my headset right there, but we'll figure that out over time. I got a little bit of practice putting that, getting it logged on, but that's what it looks like. So we're gonna go pick up our load. We're getting pipe and taking it up to Detroit. It actually has an extra stop in Lima, Ohio first. So we're gonna go pick up a pipe, come back, hang out at Mercer. I need a shower. I need to get cleaned up. Yesterday was a long day. I was in a hurry to get this thing hooked up. It seems to be working okay. We'll find out. The only drawback or issue is that device does not have my last 7 or 8 days in it. And my JJ Keller, which is right here, still has it in there. So I had to go out back and write everything down for the last 7 days to recap my hours. Monday they'll fix all that in the office, but for right now I just need to make sure that if I do get inspected, I can pull up my logs on my JJ Keller so I can show those, and then it'll have the logs in here. The only thing it doesn't do is calculate how many hours I have left, so I have to do that manually. But that's not that hard. It's pretty simple. All right, that's it. Let's go get our load and I'll talk to you later. All right, good morning. It's Sunday morning. We're still in Mercertown over here in Louisville. We're at the driver's lot. We got loaded yesterday. We picked up some conduit. So this is our load going up to Detroit. And this is what we've done. Now we do have one extra stop. We got to stop in Lima, Ohio tomorrow morning and drop off these 3 bundles right in the back here. But we're in the driver's lounge lot, is what they call it. So all these parking spots have electricity, so you can plug in. There's the driver's lounge right there. And we were plugged in all weekend, so we didn't have to run the generator. We had the power cord plugged in. We'll go up here and take a look. There's a big sleeper right there. So, and then our power cord comes down and we're plugged in right there. And then I think the big sleeper guy, he's plugged into those boxes, so you can see the boxes. But all the parking spots out here have those power boxes. So I'm gonna get almost 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get the power cord put away, get everything put up. And we only got about 3 hours, but I want to go ahead and get going today and get on up there before everybody wakes up. So talk to you in a bit. All right, I got that power cord put away and we're about ready to go. I got to log in. So this is the new logging thing. You can see how I got it mounted. I mounted it on the same little metal bracket that my phone thing was on. I think I showed you guys that. So I'm not going to go into great detail how this thing works, but basically you hit the log in and then you put your login information. So I'll go ahead and put the login information. Hang on. Okay, so now we're logged in, and so now what we're gonna do here is wait a minute, let's see here.
You have 7 hours and 59 minutes of remaining drive time.
So you can hear it talking to you. So we need to do a new vehicle inspection. All right. Now JJ Keller would keep all this information. You didn't have to keep typing it in, but we'll do that. Truck number. All right. Next. All right. See, no defects. We walked around. Everything looks good. No defects on the trailer. Everything looks good. So now we're going to submit. So it says VIR. So that's a vehicle inspection report. And we're going to submit. And done. Alright. So now, go back to here. Go back to here.
You have 7 hours and 58 minutes of remaining drive time.
So this gives you the breakdown of what you have left. So we're on duty right now because we needed to show our inspection. let's see here, and then I think clocks. So this tells you available driving time. Now let's see here, graph. I'm trying to see. So this, it's a little different. JJ Keller had the little round circles. So this gives you more of a graph breakdown. So this will give you the clocks of how much time you got remain left. Let's see, available driving. And this is your clock to your 30-minute break. So anyway, let's see, load. Let's see if it's got the information. Yeah, so it's already still has my load information in there from yesterday. So I think we're good to go. So that's just kind of a basic on how that works. I don't know what else to say about it, but anyway. All right, let's go get a cup of coffee, gather up, double check Google Maps, make sure there's no traffic, and we'll get going. So talk to you in a bit.